Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more barn bass. Romp past your mom, dads, listening to Tomcats, talking everything to make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. Get some weed and now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the Penny Bloom Podcast. This is the 104th episode, and 'tis I, Colton Robertson, joined by my guy, the magnificent Tavarus Pennington. What's up, homie?
Hello, hello.
We're in my kitchen today.
We are. It's a nice. We're moving on up, huh?
Moving on up. Out of the sub-basement.
Out of the
basement.
Out of the basement.
Up to the kitchen.
Up to the kitchen. Which is above the entry level, too. So, you know,
we skipped a level there.
Skipped
a level. It is what it is. But yeah, I got the house to myself this week. It's been a pleasure.
Mighty nice. Mighty nice.
Mighty nice indeed. Family's on vacation without me. Mom felt she owed me, took me out for a pedicure. Me and my girlfriend. Ah,
that's nice. Did you feel let down that they weren't taking you out to Myrtle Beach?
Not gonna lie, not one bit. Not one bit, actually. Myrtle Beach is not. No shade to the South Carolinians. It's not the best.
Yeah, it's not the best. I never really enjoyed it.
And they're not having the best time.
Oh, really?
It's rainy. It's not going great. But at least I got the house to myself.
At least you got the house to yourself. Yeah, that's nice.
It's been a joy, Been a good week. We went and saw Quiet Place 2 in theaters.
Okay.
Which we'll be talking about today.
Yeah.
We watched Bo Burnham's Inside. And Bo Burnham is awesome. Makes some great music. Great visuals. Will it send you into a depressive episode?
Most likely.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's likely. It's incredibly sad. Every time he releases something, I'm like, should I have watched this?
Should I have
Did
watched
he even
this?
want me to?
Yeah.
Because even the end of his second show, the second show, it's Make Happy is what it's called. He sings a song about how he kind of hates the fans. He's like, part of me loves you, part of me hates you, part of me needs you, part of me fears you. So it's like
Tyler has a song like that too.
Exactly.
What, Colossus? Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like, and he at the end of the song he drops the mic and he goes, "Thank you very much. I hope you're happy." And it's like I don't think he wants us to watch.
Oh. But then he released it, so then that's the paradox of it, right?
But it's like a necessity thing for him. It's like he has to do the comedy, or else that's his livelihood. And he dives into that in this show Inside, where he spent over a year inside during the quarantine, filming a special, editing it, making all the music for it, and boy, oh boy, the songs are fucking phenomenal.
Okay, shit, yeah, I hadn't heard about that at all.
It's really, really good. It is a little devastating. That's just kind of the part. That's kind of what goes with Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you're like, fuck, I hate that I relate to that.
It's kind of the tragic hero thing, it's the person who you endlessly want to listen to and relate to, but at the same time you're like, God damn, that's honestly some shit that I don't I've never experienced, and I respect that.
I can't. It's just because the fame aspect of things. It's just got to be.
Yeah.
I can't fucking imagine. Yeah. What a life of fame would be like. I already hate people. I already hate being around a lot of people.
Yeah, no.
At once, and then you're famous, and then your job is to kind of be around a lot of people.
I've thought of that on multiple occasions. Even listening to the Josh Kesselman dude I was telling you about, the owner of Raw. That dude has such an energy. He exudes that on everything that I see him in, and I'm to live that life I feel is really different, because he sees even just as the owner of a company, the number of people you would see in that line of work, especially a company as big as Raw, you see a lot of people, and you have to be into every single engagement, and you have to transition quickly, and you have to
Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. No, bro. I get anxiety when I'm on the highway. Like, I'm not gonna come face to face with traffic with a bunch of people and be able to interface. Mm-hmm. Like, I can hardly drive my car.
You're like, guys, I barely made it here alive.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to any of you right now.
Yeah,
but it's like. I couldn't handle it. I simply couldn't handle it.
No, I feel it. It's nice to be coming out of the quarantine, you know? Like, I feel like it was so absurd at first to be like, people are wearing their fucking masks. Like, what the fuck? And then you're just like, I guess that is the normal way of things. Like,
I kind of want to wear a mask.
I do though. I agree. I still wear a mask too. And I just like, honestly, like my position, like they've been wearing masks in China since 2010. You know,
it's like I like people not being able to see my face, frankly.
Yeah.
I think that's dope. I think it's a really good aspect of things.
Oh, yeah.
A lot less people are bound to talk to you. Because if you have the mask on, in theory,
you don't want to be talked to.
Don't approach you're kind of shut off from people a little bit. And it's like when I'm at work, love that thing.
Yeah.
I don't really want to talk to y'all right now.
Do y'all still require it?
It's not required.
Oh, okay.
It is, if you want to, wear it.
Okay.
Last time I went to work, it was like me. And that was it.
Hey, do what you got to do, you know?
That's all right. That's all right.
You know, in real developments, I might be catching a job there too with you. I make it too.
We'll see. But we have a good show.
We do.
We're going to talk Quiet Place 2. J. Cole's The Off Season. We haven't been together to talk about that since it came out. We've got another 2 protecc, 7 attacc. Going to get a little bit of a Game of Thrones action since me and Emily have been catching up on that. I've got that fresh on the brain, ready to talk about it. And, I say let's fucking do it.
Oh yeah, let's just hop right on in.
Let's hop right in. Let's talk A Quiet Place 2. So up front, how'd you feel about the movie?
I thought it was honestly great because I didn't know, and I think I was very much like John Krasinski was like at first when, you know, he's like, I don't really want to I don't know if this movie, like, this wasn't set up to be a sequel, a franchise or anything like that. Like, I had that feeling after Quiet Place 1, 2, and because honestly, I didn't even remember what really happened in the end. Like, I was remembering shit as the movie went on, but I really did not.
I had a very, very good experience with it because me and Emily woke up in the morning. We watched the first one, and then we went to the theater to see the second one that afternoon. And I'd never seen the first one, so I had like a very. Oh,
you had never seen the first one?
So I had a very fresh perspective of the first one, and a very fresh perspective of the second one after the other. And it's actually awesome because I did the same thing with Deadpool, which gave me a great. I really enjoy watching franchise movies this way.
Yeah,
I just got to foresee that there's going to be a sequel before I do it. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But I loved it, and it did play really well one after the other. It flowed straight into it. It was like you're keeping with the pacing of the end of the first one.
That's ultimately what it felt like to me. Was like undeniably A Quiet Place, like one, like doesn't fulfill the story thematically. Like, you still haven't resolved like any of the major conflict, really. Like, you've told this great story about family and about survival and about like what it means, like the like.
But the bitch is still out there.
But the bitch is still out there, right? And they know nothing. They're very like, it's like a peak. It's like a ray of sunlight. That's what the first one felt like at the end. Like, you know,
it's a new hope.
They find out it's a new hope. Yeah, like they find that thing. But that doesn't really get explored. And then, you know, that's very common, though, for movies to do that, to kind of, like, give that first little jewel and then be like, you know, you can kind of imagine where it goes next. But
absolutely,
this was a natural way. And, like, I think John Krasinski, like, is, like, honestly, like, a better director than he is actor.
I agree. Because, like, when you showed me that clip of him explaining that opening scene and like just the way they filmed it, his vision for it, and like the passion he brought to the table, it feels it's different than just being in front of the camera. He gets to he was insatiable about it, and I liked it. Like, he was so passionate about it that, like, that's what I love about the filmmakers and their movies. It's just that, like, they love what they've done.
They're just passion projects. He's like, this is my Jaws. Like, I was like, damn, this is his Jaws. And I forget that I'm watching movies that really could be regarded on that level, like, in real time. Yeah. Like, I'm going to be thinking about A Quiet Place in 10 years and be like, that was a great movie. Let me rewatch that. Like, where's that at? And, like, you know, kids will be like, I remember hearing about that when I was growing up, and be like, oh, that was a really popular movie. It's crazy just how, like, seeing how things work out.
It is really, like, I like thinking about that in terms of, like, the MCU. Like, we've grown up with the MCU. We've seen the scope of it, but, like, to think about how it might be regarded, at least, like, this first 10 years, at the absolute least, and who knows where it's going to fucking go.
Yeah.
It'll be regarded as, like, some of the most intricate storytelling
ever done. Like, this, I don't think there is a cinematic universe as expansive as the Marvel universe, outside of, like, broad, like, outside of, like, I guess the corporation sort of level of it, like Disney. But, like, Star Wars isn't as big, DC isn't as big.
Nope.
What else is there? Anyways, this is all to say, I think like A Quiet Place 2 will be the conclusion to the story for at least five more years. Like, I think it's gonna be a long time before they make another one, if they do.
John Krasinski, there's already been reports that he has an idea for a third one.
Really?
But it would not.
he has the idea.
He would not. It wouldn't be like a threequel, though. It wouldn't be a continuation. It would be like another story set here. You know, like a separate thing.
Okay.
Which could be interesting, but at the same time, I'm like, I kind of want to leave it at this.
I do too. Yeah.
Comparatively to the first one, how'd you feel about A Quiet Place 2?
Comparable to it? To the
first one? Like what's the?
Honestly, like, I felt like the second one advanced the story in much more notable ways than the first one did. Like, they're a lot more. And I don't know, maybe this is because I haven't watched the first Quiet Place in so long.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I remember a very contained sort of story in the first one, and you can tell me, I guess, if this is true. But in the second one, it felt as if, like, now that you knew the lore of the universe,
you were
like,
expanding it.
Yeah, they were giving you new information.
Absolutely.
That was allowing you to, like, I don't know, experience the story in a more significant way. Like,
it certainly was. I mean, like, just even getting the day one perspective straight off.
Yeah.
Like, that opening scene where they're at the baseball game, they see the meteor falling towards Earth, and everyone's, like, collectively like, okay, that's good. We're going to go home.
And then there was this weird effect that happened where they dropped Cillian Murphy in, and I was like, okay, he's for sure going to be in the movie later. You know, Cillian Murphy's not just a random
He's
side
not just
character.
a pop-up. I mean, that's the peaky fucking blinder right
and
there.
I did not recognize him. Holy shit. That first scene,
impeccable.
I was like...
Well, and then as soon as they showed up, like, they started going on the run at the beginning of the movie, and they happened upon that warehouse. I was like, okay, here we go. We're going to meet another person who's still alive.
Yeah.
And I like the idea. Sorry if you hear my dog barking in the background. It shouldn't be nearly as loud as our voices right here in the mic. But I knew he was going to be a bigger part of that film.
Yeah.
And like he popped up, and I loved his addition. I appreciate too that they didn't go with the exact same formula and kill him off.
Me too. I thought they were so close to it so many times.
I was like, no, what the fuck? Like, not again. Like,
not again. That's exactly how I felt.
It's just because, like, not only would it be like a letdown in terms of, like, oh fuck, I liked that guy.
Yeah.
It would be a letdown in terms of, like, we're doing the exact same shit then.
Yeah.
And if he did get killed off there at the end, you could argue that it was, like, roughly the same ending.
Yeah, in a really sad way, that is kind of true. But, like, that, I don't know, could be the... Because, like, I know a lot of writers kind of do this thing where they have a foundational story structure, and they kind of, like, rewrite, like the story circle for the... I think that's what they call it, or, like, the you know how Rick and Morty, the creators have, like, the story arc or whatever that they follow at basically every episode. Like, it could be something like that. But, yeah, no, they subvert so many expectations, and I think that was like what I realized with A Quiet Place too.
Yeah,
like because even when you knew the jump scares were coming, I'm like, which corner of the screen is it coming from? I don't know. Like I was like, what's about to happen? And then it's just like, and then it happens in IMAX. That shit's like, oh fuck! Like you're jumping
in a movie theater. Yeah. That shit's like, oh fuck! It's just like that shit's way too loud.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do that.
I noticed that. Honestly, this was the first time I've had that thought in a movie theater. I was like, this shit is too loud. I never usually care. I get into it.
It's jump scares. Like jump scares will make you go, okay, that's a bit too much.
I did think that when I watched The Dark Knight in 2008 in theaters. I fell asleep about halfway through that movie because I was like 7, you know.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I remember the beginning scene being like, yo, this shit's fucking loud.
Oh man, but I did really enjoy the theater experience of it. Regardless, it was a beautiful movie. Like it was beautifully shot. I like that, you know, the daughter was more the main character.
Yeah.
And I guess that is how the end is different. You know, her and the boy are the ones who save the day instead of the mom and the dad saving the day. So it's supposed to be kind of like a good stories rhyme sort of thing.
Also, think about how that like fits in the context of the story. Like that is them, like the first movie is them figuring out the weapon that can defeat these monsters, that gives them some sort of chance, right? It's that ray of sunshine. They open that up to the world. Like the sun is shining now. Like it's like they've literally given humanity a tool to, like, everywhere to kill the
they just got to get the word out.
They just got to get the word out at this point, which, you know,
maybe that's where the story picks up. Like maybe that's where a threequel would come in.
Something can. There's potential there, of course. Like I would be willing. I would be down to go. I would go watch that.
Oh, absolutely, I would too.
But like, it's like at each point, it's really he's doing a good job writing it, because it's just kind of like, this is a good stopping point, but also it's not.
Yeah,
and it never will.
And that is ultimately like what you want to do, I think, like as a movie maker modernly anyway. You know, it's like make something that like you feel good and conclusive in, but also leave just a little bit, because anything can get a spinoff now.
Yeah, exactly. Anything can get a spinoff. He's like, I mean, I'm sure we'd be down to make another you know,
and like in a universe like this, as long as there's survivors, there's a spinoff.
John Krasinski is so young too. How old is John Krasinski?
He's got to be 40s. I'm going 40. I'm going 43. That's my guess for John Krasinski's age.
41.
41.
He's young.
It's a young man. That he's gonna be a good director.
Oh yeah.
Like long term. I have you ever seen anything else of John Krasinski's?
No, I don't think I actually have.
I need to head to his catalog. I
actually started Jack Ryan, Tom Clancy show he's in.
Mm-hmm.
It was all right. You know, it was like a military buff sort of thing. I was just like, this is like cool, but there's just not enough action. It's a very, I don't know, like.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Have you watched an episode of it or anything?
My parents are watching it, and they have watched it, and I've caught some of it. And like, it's also hard for me to get into military stories these days. So it's like,
it's almost like the same storyline is playing out in the Middle East, and I'm just like, when are we going to get over this? This doesn't seem unique. I don't know why you did this.
No, but the movie I've seen him that he directed and acted in was The Hollers, and that had Charlie Day, Richard Jenkins, Anna Kendrick, character actress Margot Martindale. Mm-hmm. It was a really good moving film, and like he's really got this family storytelling thing down. Like that seems to be his forte. Is like, and you know, tell tales of what you know, like what you value and stuff. And I feel like he makes it clear.
That's why you gotta have some sort of passion about it. Otherwise, you know, it's just.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I watched the first one in conjunction with the second one, and I didn't know he died, and I wasn't prepared for it.
Oh, yeah, no, that did give me, I was kind of pissed off about that. I was like, yo, like, come on. Like,
I ain't gonna lie. I do think he's a little bit conceited on the way he gives him on his own character.
On his own character.
Nobody else has had a sacrificial death.
No.
Not a single other person has screamed to save somebody else.
Mm-mm.
And like even the not sacrificial death, but the death right before the end in the second movie, the black guy who drives them to the radio station, and then he bitches out and panics because he thinks they lost him. It's like, no, you didn't fucking lose them, man.
Yeah.
And like, obviously I get the panic in the moment and stuff, but it's like, it also feels like you kind of wanted this last scene to just be her and that guy, and you needed a way for this guy to die.
Yeah.
So like, I'm having those thoughts during the movie sometimes, and, and like, if there are moments like that do take me out of it, it does lessen the experience a little bit. But like, nevertheless, I enjoyed it. I was just kind of like, really? We're going to kill this guy right now? Like, at least give him a sacrificial death in a couple seconds.
Exactly.
Like something, because he was a good dude, you know? Like, he was a good, smart dude. It didn't seem like the type to kind of panic in that situation. He immediately hopped in his car and drew the thing's attention. Do you think he'd turn back and be like, uh-oh?
Yeah, no, I don't know. He, he's starring with his wife, he wants to give himself.
And I also was like, fuck. One of those things was just on the boat with them.
Oh, yeah. No, well, what do you mean? Like, when they went to the other
When they
island?
went to that island.
No.
Was it a different boat?
It took its own boat. That's what it showed about the animal, or the creatures or whatever. Like, they were intelligent. Like, because they killed one of the creatures when they were escaping, and then Cillian Murphy was on the beach, and he peeks around that corner, sees the boat. That was the other boat that was there that it crashed into. So it found out how to drive that across the ocean or whatever.
Okay, I did not get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That does help that a lot.
And then that's why it was following, what was it trying to do? It was following the car for some reason. I can't remember what. They gave some sort of reason.
Well, because he was honking the horn.
Oh, yeah. I just think it, like, the movie was set up to kind of show that, like, this is some alien race that is intelligent that is invading. And, like, humans are helpless. Like, that is kind of the basic premise.
Well, it is interesting because, like, it feels like they're focusing on, like, okay, we need a planet, and we need someone we can just enforce our brute strength over.
Yeah.
We just got to be able to hear them.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's, I don't know, it's weird. And I think it's a good thing about the writing, because it gives it, like, this sort of, like, underlying lore that isn't ever really explicitly explored, but it, along with new discoveries by the characters, develops that lore in an unspoken way that, like, gives the reader a sort of subtext to take interest in.
They are monsters from a different galaxy trying to expel all noise. No noise will ever be made again.
Yeah, if only.
In A Quiet Place 4.
They will make noise when they stab you through the heart.
Or
you will make
really
noise.
I was amazed when I watched it at, like, just like the I also couldn't stand that the first thing they did in the first movie was kill off a kid, so you knew anything was up for grabs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was like and I didn't hate that, but I hated it because I felt like everyone was in danger, like, and that was feasible. Like, anyone could die. They killed a 6-year-old or a 4-year-old at the beginning of this.
Like, if you're moving, shebang.
The way dude, that shit was like, fuck.
And also, I don't remember seeing any animals in. Do you ever remember seeing animals really out, like, in the woods? Like, did they kill all the animals?
I think they killed the animals. Like, the animals.
Yeah, which means they're not discriminating by race. Like, it's anything that's
alive making noise is going to get got. And it doesn't even have to be alive. Yeah. Anything that's making noise is going to get fucking destroyed.
That's there's still so much to explore with why. Like, you can say, there's a lot to say about, like, the world, especially when you're thinking about what this movie really is. Like, he explained, like, an ode sort of to, like, what it would be in a way to experience the world, like, as silence for the most part, and, like, have to defend yourself against noise, like, against the outside world. Like, there's so many, like,
there's a lot
interesting ways, I think, to approach that.
Yeah, exactly, and to interpret the film. It's And that's what I like about it, because John Krasinski, like, he had an idea and he had his own metaphor that he probably metaphors and themes he wanted to go with, but it's like you can take anything from it, and that's kind of what good art is.
That's true. Yeah.
It was a fucking good movie, though. I'll tell you that.
It was. I enjoyed that movie. I was glad. It was one of the. Well, I saw Mugen Train like a week earlier, but like just being able to go back to the movies has been.
It's been fucking spectacular. I've only been a couple times here in 2021. I went and saw Judas and the Black Messiah in theater.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I saw something else after that. Oh, Raya and the Last Dragon, the Pixar movie. I saw that in IMAX. That shit slapped.
Yeah.
And then this.
I saw all the little things in February for Valentine's Day. God awful.
I'm glad I didn't pay for that.
God fucking awful movie. God, that was terrible. I was like, this. It gives me no satisfaction whatsoever. I felt like I just simply watched a movie. Denzel, how could you?
How could you?
Rami Malek. Okay, you've been in some peculiar places before. I can understand why you would be like, fucking yeah. Denzel.
Come on.
What
happened?
Like, it just wasn't a Denzel movie. Like, pick your scripts better, man. I'm sorry. You didn't. Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something that does satisfy us.
Okay.
Following A Quiet Place 2, we've got J. Cole's The Off-Season.
The Off-Season.
How'd you feel?
Honestly, like, I feel like it was, like, a genius kind of move. Like, it felt like something that everyone really wanted and needed, and it was at the perfect time. Like, springtime, like, April to May, like, I just feel like are prime months.
That's Cole hours.
That's Cole hours, yeah. That's Cole hours. That's Kendrick hours, like, and March too, if they want to be ambitious sometimes. But just like the spring months, like, it's a good time to come out with new rap music in particular, because like it's just in time for the summer.
Just in time for the summer.
You're getting out of the depressive cold days where you're jumping on all the other smooth shit. Like, you always pay attention to like jazz, more jazzier music, R&B-ish, singer-songwriter type musics when it's cold outside. That's just the fact.
It's just the facts. And like even in the discographies of J. Cole, you got For Your Eyes Only. That's a winter ass album.
Winter album. When that dropped, it was like November.
It was
December.
December.
Was it December
3rd, I think, or something like that. But I remember first listen. I wasn't underwhelmed. I liked it. I just wasn't like for me, first listen, I usually go, fuck yeah. Like, this is the best. And I didn't have any inclination towards that. And usually it's just the hype of the moment that gets me there. But like, it just didn't fulfill what I usually have in mind for J. Cole. And I think that was part of the point.
Yeah, right.
And coming to realize that has made it better. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it does feel more like the mixtape stuff. And don't get me wrong, that's not a bad thing. That's a fucking
right.
Good
that's
thing.
What made him famous. Like, honestly, like that's what got him popular. And then he started, once he was able to sort of do more conceptual, more musically finer things. I think, like, not finer to say like what he's doing now is not fine or derogatory in some way. It's just like, it takes less effort, you know.
Absolutely, and it's like it's perfecting the craft, not like pushing a conceptual sort of work on us, like KOD or like For Your Eyes Only. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like he knows he can tell stories, you know. Like, people want to hear him rap. Like, that's a different project entirely. Like, what's the goddamn name of it? What's the it starts with a B. Kendrick dropped it before. Damn. What? Yo, how can I not remember that? Not Black Friday. It was Your Heart.
Oh, the Heart Part 4.
The Heart Part 4. Yes, the Heart Part 4. When Kendrick drops the Heart Part 4, like, that's just being like, yo, I can still rap. And then he drops Damn, and he's like, and I can still rap over a concise conceptual theorization of Islam and blackness in America and the state of politics in this country. Like, then he gets into the sort of the nitty gritty, you know? But he's still like, you still got to prove to people every once in a while, like, bruh, if you just want bars, I got that too.
I got that too. And that's like, I want that from J. Cole, obviously. These are going to be a lot of casual tracks I come back to. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to listen to it top to bottom, though, like I do with J. Cole albums.
Yeah.
Usually. That's
why I'm so glad he did that freestyle. That freestyle honestly was better than about half of the songs on the album / mixtape.
I'd agree.
Like you, the LA Leakers freestyle, you listen to that? Yeah, I was listening to that and I was like,
oh my God.
This boy been in the gym. He been practicing. Oh my God.
And he's playing professional basketball in Africa.
Yeah, what the in Africa. That shit's dope. Like,
that's fucking cool.
Who's like, okay, like, I have no realistic chance of making it to the NBA. That's the best basketball league in the world. Like, very obviously, I'm just not on LeBron's level. Okay, I've been rapping, eating potato chips, fucking smoking a little bit, drinking for too many years. At this point, it's about over for me.
Isn't he like 34? Like,
He's like 34, yeah.
It's like, you ain't gonna make it in the NBA. You recognize that. You knew that. Although it would have been dope if a G League team would have just thrown him a contract.
It would have been kind of cool. I'm just looking at J. Cole, like if you Google J. Cole, people also ask the number one question is J. Cole black or white?
Are you fucking for real?
Bruh. Like, does he look...
Does he sound white to people? Does he look white to people?
I don't know. Like, I'm like, and even so, like, he's black and white technically. Like, come on now. But this is not high conceptual theory or anything. How he's mixed. Like, what the fuck? Hold on, let's see what the answer is.
Both. And
oh my God. It highlights Cole, then it highlights African American soldier. Like, it highlights African American, then it says his father, African American soldier, left his mother, capitalized a white German postal worker.
Wikipedia be going into some depth, and it's like, yo, I did not need to know what the grandmother's occupation was.
You're like, bro, how do you know?
How do you know that?
Why did you look that far into a person who makes music? Yeah.
What did his grandmother do for a living?
I think this kind of motivates, though, his reclusiveness in between albums. Like, he doesn't want to live like that life where, and he knows, like, he especially if he's anywhere, and I'm assuming he still lives in North Carolina. I haven't heard anything different, but yeah, like, he goes out in North Carolina, people are going to recognize him. Like, people listen to 100%. J. Cole in North Carolina. And it's like, you just have to, like, I don't know, like, shut the world out for some time too, especially when you're like people expect greatness from you at this point. Like I can't even imagine what that sort of pressure would even be like.
Oh, and I can't either. It's like how he's got a. And what he does well is relieving himself of that pressure. Yeah. He views it as him applying pressure. Right. And I like that that's kind of the general concept of this. He's like, all right, y'all push me, I'm going to push back.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I fuck with that.
It's a like real motivational message. I feel like J. Cole is like, he's been really focused on making sure he doesn't, like he said, like in the documentary, like, let like the fruits of his wealth and stuff like overcome him, and he get comfortable and like sit back and chill and don't really like have any ambition or.
Well, it's like once you've reached the top of the game, it's like how do you stay motivated? It's like right, and that's internal at that point. That's why everybody who's the best in the world at what they are, they're a little bit crazy.
Exactly.
You know, like and I don't mean that in like any derogatory way, but you know, like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, these dudes were a little crazy in terms of how they approached basketball.
Yeah, they were just a little bit.
Yeah, and stuff like that. Like, it's like these dudes are freaks.
Yeah,
of their kind. You know what I'm saying? So like applying that same logic. Like, he even compared it to basketball. He's like, I've got to stay on it. I've got to work on this day in, day out.
Yeah, exactly. Which is honestly the logical conclusion to most things that you like dedicate yourself to. Like,
100%.
To be frank, like, you just have to be like
10,000 hours.
10,000 hours. We're gonna get there.
Malcolm Gladwell on this bitch.
That's the goal for Penny Bloom podcast. We get to 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours. I mean, 100 hours. I'd say an average of like an hour and a half. 100 episodes, hour and a half each, like about on average.
200 hours ish.
Yeah, ish. It's wild. That's a lot of talking. It's a lot of talking.
That is a lot of talking.
But it's worth it when we're talking about J. Cole and A Quiet Place and Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. A little bit of everything all of the time.
A little bit of everything all of the time.
Shout out Bo Burnham.
I guess our play on it is a little bit of everything a little bit of the time.
Yeah, a little bit of everything, a little bit of the time. Loses the pacing.
It
a little
loses
bit.
the pacing. Yeah, you got double syllable somewhere in there.
Yeah, a little instead of a lot.
A lot.
I mean, not important.
Not important.
Not important. A little bit of everything, a little bit of the time. But overall, J. Cole album solid.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just have my expectations so high for him that first listen.
Yeah,
I was a little let down, but it's J. Cole. I'm a revisit. I'm a girl to love it.
No, yeah. I mean, honestly, I was just kind of like, it came out, and I was like, and I don't do this much with music anymore in general. I just listen all over the place. I don't listen to any one thing anymore. Like,
yeah,
I'm
same.
not like, I don't go in on anything. And honestly, I don't sit and just like listen to music for a sustained period of time that much anymore either. I'm just never doing anything for the same. Like, everything I'm doing, like, I need to be unplugged. Like, I need to like focus on
this. Yeah.
But like, I just played it like every time I got in the car because I was just like, it's a J. Cole. Even if it wasn't my favorite thing ever, I liked it. It was good. So it's J. Cole. I'll do what I've always done when it's J. Cole. Listen to it as much as I can. Like, I need to, like, I'm going to want to know this part of his discography as well as his other parts. Because at this point, I'm listening for the artist and the idea behind the music more than I am whatever he actually produces.
Exactly. And like, and it's the same with like Kendrick. I'm always
exactly.
It's the reason I go back to Untitled, Unmastered, and keep trying to love it.
Oh, are you still not a fan of Untitled?
I am. Okay. I am, but it took me a while.
Okay, yeah,
I am now, but it took me a while.
It took me a good 2 years, I think. I was like, I just didn't listen to it for a while, and I went back, and I was like, oh yeah,
I have a little bit more of a well-versed palate.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I can handle something like that a little better. Yeah. It's funny how you find those things. Like, I only like Jimi Hendrix. I liked Jimi Hendrix a lot now.
Uh-huh.
But for a while, I only liked a few songs by Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
And now I'll listen to any of his albums front to back. You know, like
yeah.
Axis Bold as Love. I wasn't a huge fan the first time I listened to it. I was just kind of like, there's nothing here that stands out. But now I'm like, fuck. Yeah. I love this thing.
Yeah.
This is gold.
I was listening to a Jimi Hendrix song with Kenton the other night, or like, the last weekend maybe, and he was like, he played this Jimi Hendrix song. You could just hear how like fucking high Jimi Hendrix was. It was kind of great.
It's impeccable.
Yeah,
like, you just know
he's just performing so well, and he's just like talking between his.
Nobody plays the guitar like that man. Oh. Dog barky bark.
Bark.
Dog barky bark. Hey. You're done. No more barky bark in housey house. I get you're a dog and stuff, but I'm recording Daddy's recording a podcast.
Number 7 on people also ask, is J. Cole from the hood? As if there is
white people are just
there's like you go to Wikipedia and there's a list of hood zip codes. This is in fact the hood.
It's like, god damn, I fucking.
And then it talks about how he was born in Germany. But like, that's very inaccurate because he never like grew up in Germany. He didn't live in Germany. He was there for a couple years after he was born. Oh, and it quotes a story from 2011. J. Cole, an upstart rapper, speaks for himself from NPR.
God damn.
What? This is so wild. What rappers are not from the hood? 11 rappers with no street cred. Macklemore, Nick Cannon, Iggy Azalea, Rick Ross.
People get mad at Rick Ross for being a PO. They get mad at him for being a parole officer for sure.
They do. Drake, Nicki Minaj,
French Montana.
I fucking hate French Montana.
I cannot stand him.
I cannot stand French Montana. He dropped a song recently, I think, that actually wasn't even bad. Like, I don't remember what the name was.
He was a feature on something.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what it was either, but I was like, okay, he actually did all right on this. Like, I usually am just like disgusted. I'm like, how? Like, this is like the most pop version of rap there is, and I can't explain how.
Yeah, I can't explain how either. And I'm like, who is this dude? Why does he have a following? Why is he on this song with Lil Wayne? Like, bro, you were not on his level. Like
that picture that he gets like cropped out of with like Jay-Z, Nas, Colton, Kendrick, and then like I think it's like fucking him right there on the end, and he just gets cropped out of the picture every time.
But it's French Montana, bro. He's on the end of that. He probably wasn't invited. Come on, let's be real.
They were like, "Hey, let's get a picture." And French was like,
Daddy
"Yeah,
was
I'm in."
Inviting French Montana over, bro. Oh my god! That is also another funny thing. Like, have you seen the thing about like the bar about J. Cole and Puff? Puff
yeah,
Daddy?
I've heard. I didn't look into it much.
So apparently, what happened was Puff Daddy was upset about Kendrick's Control verse, and they were at a party together, and he says something disrespectful about Kendrick, and I think J. Cole just kind of like checked him on that, and they end up getting into a fist fight. Like, that's like. I was like, yo, what? And that's like something that was like actually like reported on at the time. Like, it was like not, people didn't know exactly what happened. But it was like something that people had like known about and talked about. Cause this was like in 2013.
I don't even think Puff gets mentioned on that. And maybe that's why he was upset.
No, he did.
He did?
Yeah. J. Cole said, who would have thought my last, fight
No, I meant on Control.
Oh.
Why would he even be mad about it?
Well, he was mad because they called himself the King of New York.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, yo, like, I mean.
This is rap music.
Puff
Kendrick
Daddy?
Lamar ain't the only one calling himself the King of New York.
Yeah, and also, you think Puff Daddy and the Family is better than Kendrick? Like, maybe in the 90s when Kendrick was like, he probably would have been a kid. Maybe in the 2000s like when
10.
Kendrick was like coming up. Like,
yeah.
But like, Puff Daddy
I was just thinking to myself, I was like, that goes for Jermaine Cole, Big Crit Wale, Pusha T, Meek Mill, ASAP, Rocky, Drake, Big Sean, Jay Electron, Tyler, Mac Miller. I got love for y'all, but I'm trying to murder you people.
Exactly. And like, that's just like a healthy contest. Like, drop an album bigger than like that song and then come talk.
And what's crazy, that song ain't ever even been commercially released.
I know.
And it's one of the most iconic verses of all time.
Honest. And they just mad about it because he's like, oh, I've been here. I fucking found Biggie. Like, bro, like, that's great and all, but music evolves. Like, who knows? Like, a lot of people say like, and like, not to put any disrespect on Biggie, but they say like Biggie at this point in his career probably would have been average. Like, probably would, like, he was just the first to kind of do it. It's the same way that Louis Vert is being outpaced. Same way, like, even I don't know who's another one that kind of got like
started losing steam.
Yeah, but came up with a sort of like trend.
Pump.
Yeah, Pump. That's a good one.
Just boomed, and then I haven't heard from him in 3 years.
Yeah, Eminem.
Eminem is actually the perfect example of someone who started out as like a fucking goat.
And he's on the level of Biggie easy. Like he's
certainly
Biggie's better, obviously. But
yeah.
And I mean, we could fight about that if you want, but let's be real.
I'm with you. I ain't gonna argue with you on that one bit.
Yeah, but like Eminem,
sicker
like,
than your average.
Bro, Eminem's last album was bad. Like, to see someone who dropped Marshall Mathers LP like go to that level. That last album was embarrassing. The last two albums. No, the Kamikaze wasn't terrible. Kamikaze was all right. The album before that, like, the fucking.
I can't even remember.
Country boy, like I don't.
Oh, fucking revival, like
revival. That shit was. That shit is a joke to this day. And then he dropped fucking music to be murdered by, and it was like, I
love when people are like, I love when people are like, NF, Eminem, Logic, top 3, and it's like,
wait, who's the third? Who's the first?
NF, Logic, Eminem, top 3, Joyner Lucas or whatever.
I can't believe people still even mention Macklemore. Like.
Has he put anything out in like years?
I don't know. I just kind of hate the fact that in middle school he was appealing to me somewhat more than he should have been.
It was. I mean,
their song wasn't bad. Like I'll give him that. And
he had some good pop songs. Like that's the thing is that like they were good because they were popular, and we were also in middle school. So
and that man dropped an album or a song about Jordans, and I love that shit. And then I was like, I mean. Like,
he did kick the song off with the worst line in rap history. Walk into the club like, "What up? I got a big cock."
He did, which made it hard for me to take like his later music seriously.
Which
sucks, but
yeah, like I remember fucking that dog fucking barking.
I won't lie, barking. There was a Macklemore song on Saints Row 4. I want to say, I think it was called Gold, maybe. Honestly, kind of good. I kind of fucked.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's had some solid songs. Yeah. It's just that like you can't respect him as a hip hop artist in general
because he's from Seattle.
And I mean, like, and the fact that he won Rap Album of the Year over Jay-Z, Kanye West, Drake.
It's like the Cardi B thing, honestly.
It's like it's worse. It's a whole lot worse, in my opinion. It's like how did this happen?
Yeah.
How did you let that happen?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't J. Cole mention Macklemore on Fire Squad?
Yeah.
That's still funny to me.
Watch Iggy win a Grammy. It's Iggy.
What?
Watch Iggy win a Grammy as a
try to crack
a smile.
No. Oh no. He lists in the bar before that. He lists all the rappers like, something, and don't think the Macklemore. Yeah, no, I just thought me and
same with Elvis and rock and roll.
Yeah, just like that. He was just like, it was just about how like white people are jacking the style. Yeah. And I was like, I re-listened to Forest Hills Drive when we were driving to the lake with Claire because she had never heard it, and I don't know if she was really paying attention. I don't think she was, but just on Fire Squad, I was like. Fire Squad's that's a standalone song. Like that's like
it's fantastic.
Motivate to me. Like that's a song. Like it's a really short song. It's not nearly popular, like the most popular on the album, but it's just like a very solid track.
Justin Timberlake, Eminem, and then Macklemore.
Yeah.
Figured
that's
it out.
What it was. Yeah.
Watch Iggy win a Grammy as I try to crack a smile. I'm just playing, but all jokes do contain true shit. I remember seeing that in concert, like the shit he had on the screen behind him of him, like the actual footage of him like scowling while he was clapping.
Wait, at the KOD concert?
Yeah. You don't remember him performing that?
No.
Oh, fuck yeah, buddy.
It was so hard for me to take it all in. It's sometimes like when I'm at concerts
sometimes like you can mention a part of a concert. It all runs together. That was just one moment that I remember talking to my dad about stuff.
The thing that kind of sucks is I don't even remember much. I just like that was the closest
you really live in the moment.
I've ever felt to being starstruck. I was just kind of like, yo, that's J. Cole right
there, bro.
Like he's just singing to me right now. Like he's just on the stage standing there doing way less shit than all the other performers are doing, but it's so much more captivating.
It's like, amazing. Like the way that like he could control the crowd.
I know
was impeccable.
It was, and like. He could do that for a long time. His shows are not. It's not like for him performing is like this. Like I'm sure it's it takes effort, but he's been doing it so long. Like he's not out there like you see like a Young Boy concert. That man's on his last like breath. Like fucking what was the concert where it was the DaBaby concert where who's the baby's protege or whatever? Gunna Stunner for Vegas.
I would never have known that. I'm so out of the loop, bro. Like, I have no idea what's going on.
There's a video of Stunner for Vegas falling out.
I'm already falling out of touch. Like, in terms of like
how quickly this shit goes. Like, there are all these new people. Like, my cousins were telling me, like, yeah, I went to Charlotte for a Stunner for Vegas concert. I was like, Oh, that's the babies, dude. I don't remember, like, yeah, it's just wild. But there's a video of him passing out while performing on stage, probably from general exhaustion and all the drugs in his system. You know what the baby does? Gets a pill bottle, goes to him as he's sprawled out on the stage, puts a perk in his mouth, and he gets up. He tells the crowd what he's doing as he's doing. He's like, you just need another perk. You be good, bro. Like, come on, get up.
It's a perk.
Like,
know what it is? The baby. I really love the fact that I was listening to the baby before anyone else was, because it gave me time alone with him to move. He got really. He
released another album, and I was like, oh yeah, this is just like his other music. This is all right. And he released another one of it, and I was like, oh yeah, it's just like his other one. And then he released another one, and I was like, bro,
okay.
like, I mean, like, I get it. You found the sound or whatever. You gotta evolve. And it's just, it's a good little beat.
No, don't get me wrong. I fuck with it. I don't want to hate or nothing, but it is like you have released 40 of the same song.
Exactly. And it really sucks that
he does have standouts. I don't want to be like I love him on that track with Dua Lipa. Levitate shit. That shit's gas. Yeah. Like he needs to do more of that Quavo in 2016 through 18 shit.
For Calvin Harris, bro. Like I don't know if they have a song together yet, but if they don't, they're going to have one soon. I promise.
Have to.
I promise they have to have a song together. Like he just has the, you know, I don't hate hearing, like, one of his best performances was on fucking Sun, the first song on Revenge of the Dreamers.
Oh, that's right. Under the Sun.
Under the Sun. Yeah.
I just put diamonds in all of my teen. They probably think I ain't intelligent.
That shit was hard.
It was. It was. And like, what's cool is that, like, he does have a very specific flow.
Yeah. And like and it's completely original, and that's great. And he will continue to make money, probably.
Oh, absolutely.
I just hope at some point, you know, he continues to evolve.
Yeah.
And you know, he's another North Carolina guy. He's Charlotte, like. Mm-hmm. J. Cole's Fayetteville, which is like an hour from Raleigh, which is kind of the bigger metropolitan area. But like at the same time, you know, it's like they represent very, like, the two sides of North Carolina for a major part. Like that's the two listeners you have. Like you have like sort of the older, more refined listeners, like who are still listening to rap, but they listen to like more J. Cole type shit. And then you have just like people who just bumping trap you never heard before, and you're like, bro, what is this? And they're like, this shit's popular as fuck. Fuck you talking about? You look it up and you're like, damn, this got 3 million views. What the fuck? Why ain't I heard of this shit? And you just realize it's not your loop. It's not your loop.
I would like to hear some more DaBaby and J. Cole together.
Yeah, no, I would too.
I liked them on Under the Sun together. That shit was really good. But yeah, shall we move into the 2 Protect 7 attacc?
I believe
we shall. So 2 Protect 7 attacc. We've done this before, but we're refining it. We're going specific with it. We're going Game of Thrones with it, and this is a fun one.
Oh yeah.
This is a fun one. You know how the 2 Protect 7 attacc works, though. We've got a group of 9 characters, all from Game of Thrones, and a different quantity of each of these characters to provide us a more balanced battle, potentially. So I'm going to run down the characters and the quantities. You ready?
Yep.
We've got 1 Night King. Very powerful guy. We all know Night King. If you've watched Game of Thrones, you know Night King. Another fun one, we've got 1 Drogon. Yes, the dragon. We've got 2 of the Mountain. He's dangerous. That's a big motherfucker.
That is one big ugly motherfucker.
And a dead motherfucker that's like also not dead, so it's a little scary.
Yeah, we're taking later the Mountain.
Yeah, undead the Mountain.
Normal Mountain was scary. It's just something to be reckoned with too, but
like undead the Mountain, it's crazy.
Like, fucking absurd.
We've got 3 Arya Starks. This says a lot about Arya. You know, she's a power, like she'll fuck with anybody on this list one-on-one.
Yeah, and we're assuming she has all of the powers of the Faceless Men and the strategies and techniques, and you know, there's a reason why they are renowned and legendary, like assassin group that predates literally the city it's located in, which is also one of the most legendary places in the universe. So,
outstanding character. I love her.
I do. Yeah.
We've got 5 Jon Snows. We've got 5 Khal Drogos. We've got 10 Tormund Giantsbanes. We've got 10 Brienne of Tarths. And we have a whopping 100 Tyrion Lannisters. Now, Tyrion's nothing to fuck with.
Oh, yeah, no. Tyrion...
This isn't so much a sleeper for me. 100 Tyrions can do some damage.
They can do some damage, I think that people expect him not to fight back.
But he will.
And he will fight back knowing that he is bound to lose, probably.
And therefore, he is fighting to kill.
He is fighting to kill. He has a better strategy than you, probably. To be honest.
He's smart with it.
He's smart.
He's smart with it. So 100 Tyrions, he's gonna devise one hell of a strategy with himself there.
Yeah, right.
You got to think. But you know what's really how do you do this without having one Drogon? But here's the thing: we've only got 2 people who can ride that motherfucker in this list. We got Jon Snow. We've got the Night King.
Yep.
I don't think we should operate under circumstances that would happen outside the show.
Okay.
Therefore, Arya didn't ride Drogon.
Yeah,
Therefore, she shouldn't ride Drogon.
Yeah, she can't ride.
She can't ride Drogon. Mm-mm. So it's what good is Drogon here for?
So all right, then are we thinking about who would you want to protect then? Because if you get to have Drogon to protect you, then you have to have Jon Snow.
In theory, or the Night King.
Well, but. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, you could. That's fair.
He did ride Viserion.
I feel like that makes the Night King and Drogon a very compelling option off the bat.
It does. However, the 1-in-1 of that does get concerning.
Well, but you got to think, one Night King can do. There's a reason why there's only one. He can create 500 more like that. But and they're not other Night Kings, of course, but they are. He had sergeants. He had sort of the mindless ones, which I'm sure
And if you have him on your side, anybody dies, they're now a part of your army because he can raise them right up.
That's true, and you're most definitely going against assuming it's the Night King and Drogon, you're going against. Tyrion, you have to be going against 100 Tyrion Lannisters, which means
100 Tyrion Lannisters are getting torched by Drogon.
Yeah, but they're also getting converted.
In a way, it is interesting because you do have Tyrion, who has worked with Drogon, and Drogon has met Jon Snow. Jon Snow's got the bloodline thing. Does Night King riding the dragon come because he was a white?
What do you mean?
Viserion was a White Walker by that point. Was a white dragon when he rode Viserion.
Okay.
So could he only ride the dragon because it was a white?
Oh, yeah. I believe so.
So is he even a viable option here with Drogon?
Well, yeah, he would just turn Drogon.
So he would kill Drogon.
Essentially, yeah.
Or can he just touch Drogon and turn? Can he just touch people and turn them?
That's what apparently his power is. Calls it White Walker conversion.
White Walker conversion. The Night King could turn male human babies into White Walkers by pressing the tip of his finger to the baby's cheek. That's right, and they become his white sergeants.
With the dragon too.
Yeah, that's how he rose him from the dead.
Yeah,
man. And he's got a fucking arm. Dude's got a fucking cannon. I don't know if you remember how he took out Viserion, but just threw a spear through that boy's neck.
Yeah.
And it was oh, goddamn.
And you can't use regular weapons against him. You have to use, what is it? The
Valyrian steel.
Yeah.
Or dragon glass.
Which are hard weapons to find.
But Jon Snow has them. And Brienne of Tarth.
Jon Snow knows that. Let's assume Arya probably figures that out fairly quickly.
And Brienne of Tarth also has of Valyrian steel sword.
Okay.
So 10 Brienne of Tarths, I don't think that's something to fuck with. Like,
yeah,
that's
10 Brienne of Tarths, even if you do convert the Tyrians, she's fucking them up.
Oh, absolutely. It's no contest.
She's fucking up White Walkers, too. She's about on Jon Snow's level, let's say, with swordsmanship.
Oh, 100%.
She's not, she doesn't have the X factor. She doesn't have that it factor like Jon Snow has. Like, she doesn't have anything as passionate to fight about, or she's not as passionate about her fighting. She's damn passionate. She will fuck some people up. Like, she's hard to take down, let alone 10.
You remember, I'm rewatching right now. So, like, there's that scene where her and Jaime are on the road. They run into Northmen, and she's like, I'm serving Catelyn. Like, get the fuck out my way. And they're like, we can't do that. We got to take this guy. And she's like, and the way this happened is she'd found bodies on the road. She's going to bury them. That's why they stopped for a second. And there's 3 of them. She asks, what happened to them? She's like, we killed 2 of them quick, but one of them was a slow burn. So she killed 2 of them quick, and the one who said that got stabbed through the balls, like impaled. That's a slow. That's brutal.
That is brutal.
That's a passionate killing.
That is a passionate killing, yeah, and I have no doubt that she would fight like hell against the Night King, because that threatens, everything that she
holds
finds,
dear.
Holds dear, and what she really holds dear is, human connection on a real fundamental level. We want to talk character analysis. It's sort of her. She sees herself as a sort of a warrior for justice in a way. It's her connection to humanity that sort of drives her.
It's fascinating too, because she has no reason to have that connection to humanity in terms of the way they've treated her. Like, she gets treated like shit on the whole. And she
was a what is it called? Like, she has like a title or whatever.
A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms by the end of the thing.
Well, yeah, no. She has like a family.
Oh yeah, Brienne of Tarth.
She belongs to a house. Like, she's the daughter of a dude
of the what were
House
they?
of Tarth, I guess.
No, that's where they're from. Brienne, Selwyn. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
I can't remember.
But
wait, maybe it is just Tarth. Selwyn Tarth? I'm going to look it up.
Either way, she like still has like sort of like this other life that she's trying to escape through more genuine connections that she creates out in the world.
It is interesting that she is called Brienne of Tarth. Her name is Brienne Tarth.
Oh, okay.
So it is interesting to put an of in between your first and last name.
That is. Is Tarth the place?
That's the house.
It's the house.
It's Everfill Hall. Evenfall Hall. That's what it is.
Okay.
But yeah, she's nothing to be fucked with. And honestly, 10 of her looks a lot better than 10 of Tormund Giantsbane. Tormund's just a little too chaotic.
Yeah, Tormund is a little chaotic, and he's a beast for sure. But like, I feel like she does have more passion than him. And to be honest, like, the only thing that he could possibly have is, he did suck on giant titties. I'm sure that milk gives just some protein that you don't get with normal.
Tormund Giantsbane suckled the titty. He is the funniest fucking guy in that show, though. Me and Emily are rewatching it, and we're at the point where John is just now, he's met Ygritte, and he's kind of fallen out with them a little bit. He's on his way back to Castle Black, sort of.
Okay.
And Tormund, like, the way he holds Ygritte back and is like, you're not going to die for him. Yeah. Like, don't die for this guy. Yeah. I'm not going to kill you over a fucking crow. Yeah. Be a wildling. You're a wildling. And I appreciate that he never loses his roots. Yeah. He never is swooned away by the lavishes of, Winterfell and stuff. Yeah. And Winterfell's not all that lavish, but, it was a kingdom nevertheless, and he was boys with Jon Snow, the ruler of that kingdom, briefly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I fucks with Tormund, but I think I'd rather have him attacking than protecting in terms of this collection. I think I would too. Like, I don't think, like, he is necessarily better than anyone on the list. Like, it's a battle for him no matter what. Like, for the Mountain and Khal Drogo's probably getting his shit rocked. But, like, I don't know though. Is Khal Drogo getting his shit rocked by the Mountain? I mean, like, 5 Khal Drogos to the mountains. How did Khal Drogo die again? I can't remember. He got cocky in a fight, and a dude stuck his like Dothraki blade into his chest, and he like squeezed it so that it went further into his chest, and he still beat him. But the wound got infected, and then she got a witch to treat him.
Okay.
She didn't realize she got a witch to treat him, so she doomed him to die, and it was just a whole thing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good refresher. But, okay, yeah, Khal Drogo was a mean motherfucker. But the mountain...
Never lost a battle. That's why his ponytail was so damn long.
That is true. But also, like...
Or braid.
You got to think, like, is the height of the Dothraki more dangerous than the height of the, like, Seven Kingdoms?
Yes. I think on multiple occasions they say if the Dothraki ransack the city, we stand no chance.
The Dothraki at whole, but like we're talking about 5 Khal Drogos, who is the best fighter of the Dothraki, but still, you know, there's only 5 of him, and there's 2 mountains
who are undead. That is tough.
Like, okay, let's think about real quick, like the Hound versus Khal Drogo.
The Hound gets his shit rocked.
The Hound probably gets his shit rocked, yeah. But
I don't know though. The Hound's that guy. Like I fucks with the Hound.
Has some swordsmanship skills that like are pretty
absolutely.
Like proved by that scene in the bar, if you remember, when he kills all those dudes. Like he knows how to take on a crowd of more than 5 people very easily.
Yeah, exactly.
And he can use some brutal methods as well, some Dothraki type methods to fucking kill you.
Yeah, he's not honorable by the typical Westerosi.
I'm thinking that scene where he forced the guy's knife into his eye.
Ooh, yeah.
Have you seen that yet?
Yeah. Okay. Not yet in the rewatch, but I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah. That like I was like he's goddamn, like he's brutal. He will find any way to kill you. Like
and the mountain's worse.
And the mountain's worse.
And
Khal Drogo's like that too. I feel like that's kind of like what
I mean, the biggest impact on Khaleesi, on Daenerys, it's Khal Drogo at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Talking about, like, we gonna burn cities, tear them to the ground.
The Dothraki as a people, like, and as a whole tribe or whatever you want to call them, like,
they are Daenerys' roots, too. Yeah. Like, that's the first time she felt like she was a ruler.
Yeah.
So falling back on that in the end, kind of...
They're dangerous, for sure.
They're nothing to fuck with. I like Khal Drogo. I like it a lot. It's dangerous, but and the mountain, the 2 undead, the mountain makes that difficult. Like, he's hard to beat for anybody here.
I think like honestly, I'd take Khal Drogo over and Brienne of Tarth would be hard, but like
I think 5 Jon Snows and 10 Tormund Giantsbanes can probably take on Khal Drogo and Brienne of Tarth in the same numbers.
Like, together?
Well, I mean, like, if you put Khal Drogo and Brienne of Tarth together, I think they go down at the hands of Jon Snow and Tormund.
Okay.
Alone. Like, given the even numbers there.
But, if you put 10 Brienne of Tarth and 10 Tormund Giantsbane, who we already think is, like, Brienne of Tarth is probably better than Tormund, and we put 5 Khal Drogo against 5 Jon Snow, are we saying that 5 times out of 5 Jon Snow is better than Khal Drogo?
I think they split that 3-2 probably.
Yeah, I think so too. Which means whoever's on Brienne's team has that edge.
Yeah, you're right. You are absolutely right. Actually, impressive logic that you've hit me with there. Yeah, that does throw a wrench into things for me because like I can't think of it so simply. Okay, I want to ask about 3 Arya Starks. Is that appealing to you at all right now?
Honestly, yes, still. It is, because 3 Arya Starks...
And a faceless man, Arya Stark, you kill one of the other opponents, take their form, and slide into their army?
Arya Stark is so much smarter than Khal Drogo, so much smarter than Tormund, probably a lot smarter than Brienne, too.
Well, and they show them training together and like how Arya can take Brienne.
Oh, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah. Like, I think Arya, like, can, like, at least 2 of the Aryas can get the drop on most of
everyone here.
Yeah, most of everyone here. She would have it would take all 3 Aryas. Like, let me think. Arya Stark would need to be with someone who could take care of the Tyrions if she were to be on a winning team. but I think she can handle the. We haven't really talked about the Night King in a bit, but I don't know if Arya Stark can probably handle the mountain, but it'll take.
She handled the Night King.
But that scene is just so fucked because she just came out of nowhere.
It is kind of, they do use a lot of like, yep, she's sneaky.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but which is nonetheless valuable. We must say, we have to say, do we have to say that Arya is better than the Night King?
I think so. I think in hand to hand, like if they had actually like had an opportunity to go at it 1v1, I think Arya Stark ends up with the same result.
Okay, I don't think Arya can take on an army of White Walkers that come with the Night King. But that's not to say she can't win, because if you can get 2 mountains to take on a bunch of whites and 100 Tyrians somehow.
Well, and you don't have to worry about whites so much. It's just as many as there are here.
That's true.
You know, it's like as many dead people as there are here, and once you've already got the weapons to kill the Night King, you've got the weapons to kill his whites.
That's a good point. Okay, and we're also forgetting this. Drogon is just kind of wild at this point. He's a wild card.
Dany dead.
Yeah, Dany's dead. But so Arya, like, I still don't know. Let's get a preliminary choice right here. What are you feeling right now? Who's protecting?
At the moment, if I had to pick 2 protectors,
yeah.
Off top, I think I'm kind of driven towards, to be honest, Jon Snow and Drogon.
Okay, that's a strong pick for sure. I definitely think that's a strong pick.
However, the Night King and Drogon, that's going to be tough. Because like even Dragonfire can't kill the Night King. They go over that. So it's like if they're on opposing teams, like Drogon and the Night King don't cancel each other out. In fact, the Night King can probably kill Drogon the easiest of anyone.
That's
here.
what I'm saying. And so this is why I'm kind of compelled to 3 Arya Starks.
And a Night
King.
Ooh. I ain't even thought of that, bro.
Yeah, because Arya Stark gets the drop on 50 Tyrion Lannisters. She's already in. She's got her plan to infiltrate, right? She's an assassin. She knows what she's doing. She goes in there, she takes out the Jon Snow, she takes out the Khal Drogos, she takes out honestly, the Torments. Okay, let's say this. Jon Snow and Brienne of Tarth figure it out. They figure out Arya's already infiltrated them because the Khal Drogos and the Torments have already done some dumb shit, and most of the Tyrions are gone. There's, an army of White Walkers, right? That
now fighting with
an
Arya. an army of White Tyrions and
right. The Mountain is dumb as fuck, right? He's like, I don't know, like.
He doesn't have a brain.
He has an enemy. He's trying to get to the Night King or something, the most powerful of them, and the Night King obviously can defend himself for at least a little while. You still have to count for Drogon.
And that's the thing, is that if you don't have Drogon on your team, you have to have the Night King.
Well, but
I think.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. Because if Drogon is left, Jon Snow is on Drogon.
Oh, that's a good fucking point.
Yeah, which means you've got.
Do you have 5 Jon Snows riding 1 Drogon? All of them staying safe up there?
Honestly, I think this gives more credence to Arya and the Night King, because what this does is this gives Arya a trump card. If Arya can figure out how to become that Jon Snow who's riding the dragon,
it's
wraps. And that's to say that there's no that assumes that there's no sort of spiritual connection that
the Targaryens
have with the dragon.
I think they do have that spiritual connection, though.
I think so too, but if anyone can fake it, it's Arya.
That's facts. See, that's the faceless man thing.
Yeah.
How I am interested in that question. Had Arya been able to take the form of a Daenerys or of Jon Snow, would Drogon know it's not them?
Yeah, because Drogon's not dumb. It's an intelligent dragon.
Burned the Iron Throne away.
Yeah. But also, that's not even to say that Drogon doesn't get defeated by the Night King in turn. Because they have such Arya and the Night King have such an ability to take what is used against them and use it back on those who tried to use it against them, that it's uncanny. And they're probably two of the most calculating fighters on the list. Jon Snow is calculating, but it's always in the moment, and that's what makes him so fucking cool, is because he just reacts, and it's in his blood.
He was born to do this.
Yeah, but we also can't discount 100 Tyrion Lannisters. They're not dumb.
They're not dumb.
They're not dumb.
However, I really think that 100 Tyrion Lannisters can be taken out by anybody else on this list.
I honestly do too. Just because he doesn't have as much offensive capability.
He just doesn't have the offensive capacity.
What's the fire shit called? The
wildfire.
Wildfire. We can maybe give him some wildfire, but
that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Throw a little wrench into it, because then I'm definitely taking 100 Tyrions.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you remember the Battle of the Blackwater, but holy fucking shit. Or, the septum blowing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That, I was watching that. The most recently I was watching that part of Game of Thrones and, watching the septum blow up. That was
didn't we rewatch that just the last time you were, last time we were together? Or not last time we were together, but sometime we did that.
Maybe. But that was even I don't know, there was this a CG masterpiece that was a very well done scene.
Just gold.
Just everything around there. I remember things have been cool for a minute, and then it just kind of popped off that episode. And I think it was either that episode or the next where King whatever kills himself.
Yeah.
King Tommen.
Yeah, it was that episode. He watched it all happen and was like,
end,
all right.
Yeah. And I was that shocked. That was one of the most shocking things.
He just walked right to the window and fell right out. And it's oh,
that was one of the most shocking scenes ever. Game of Thrones has a lot of the most shocking scenes I've ever seen.
Emily just witnessed the Red Wedding.
Yeah, I know.
Hear more about that in the Patreon exclusive intro, patreon.com/CoRoBloom for a slight $3 a month payment. I have an idea.
What's up?
How you feel about Jon Snow and Arya together? The Starks. Well, not the Starks, but...
But you gotta have Drogon if you're gonna win, right? Drogon or the Night King.
In theory...
Can 8 people take on...
No. No, they can't. You do have to have Drogon or the Night King.
I think...
But by that logic, if you have to have one of them, if you have both of them, isn't it unstoppable? No. Both Arya and Jon Snow, I think, can take out the Night King. Granted, he's on Drogon. That's the part that throws a wrench into it if they're together. It's because if he's on Drogon, he's not coming down.
A ladder of Tyrion Lannisters up to Drogon. It's like the
White Walkers climbing up the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, just like that. Yeah.
Just climbs over himself.
Oh my
God.
You sprinkle a couple Torments in maybe to boost them up, and you're good. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. They can definitely do that. And then you just send Arya Stark up there, right up there.
Yeah. Okay, and to be real though, I don't know. I don't know that you could beat the Night King and Drogon.
I don't think you can. However, in the spirit of the not going with the two most powerful, I do think the best option is the Night King and Arya Stark, like you pointed out.
Okay.
How do you feel about Night King and another addition besides the Arya Stark, like the Mountain, like the Undead Mountain? Do you think 3 Arya Starks pretty easily dispatches 2 Undead Mountains?
I mean, not easily, but at the same time,
You've also got 5 Khal Drogos, 5 Jon Snows, 10 Tormund Giantsbanes, 10 Brienne of Tarth. Like, these guys, they're dying.
That's quite a bit of, like, them combined can definitely take on 2 mountains. And the Night King will be a problem, but them combined is more than enough to take on 2 mountains. So
true.
You take Arya Stark and Jon Snow, they can be 2 mountains.
100%.
8 of them. Yeah.
Okay, well...
You take 5 Khal Drogos.
So
you beat 2 mountains.
It's crazy thinking about framing it up like that in terms of like we can't put the Night King with anyone else and it work as well.
If
like Arya is just that good.
Yeah, no. And you got to think too if the Hound can't beat Khal Drogo and the Hound can beat the Mountain, 5 Khal Drogos can probably beat 2 mountains.
You're probably right.
Yeah. But Arya ultimately I think is better than the Hound, is better than the Mountain. And, not better. Well, no, better, but not more significant, I guess. Like, she's not as much of a force as the Mountain or something to be feared, but 3 of them, they can put in some work.
It is funny thinking about it in the context of, like, 4, if it's Night King and Arya Stark versus, 3, 8, 13, 23.
And you got to think, too,
33, 133 versus 4 in that situation.
Oh, shit, yeah.
That's a lot.
That's
significant numbers, and framing it up like that makes it harder, but that's just how good Arya is.
Yeah.
Like, if she can faceless man one of her, let alone all 3 of her.
Yeah. And, like, you got to think, too, like, think about how a fight between Arya and the Mountain works. Like, the Mountain's over 7 feet tall. Like, huge, weighs over 500 pounds. She's not getting hit. There's no way. She knows it's over if she gets hit. But he's also too slow to hit her. Like, come on. Like, that's kind of like the thing that kind of sucks about when Oberyn Martell died. Like, you're like,
he just had to twist the knife.
Yeah, he just wasn't a good enough fighter, like, to, like, I don't know. He just wasn't a good enough fighter to finish the deal. Like,
well, no, he was. He just had to taunt this man.
Yeah,
he got it. And he was like, "Say it. Say you did this thing." And he just couldn't get past that. He couldn't just have the revenge. He had to hear the Mountain admit it. And it's like, come on, dude, you're right there. Just go ahead and kill him.
Just do it.
Don't get your head popped like it's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
God damn it, Pedro. God damn it, Pedro Pascal. My Mandalorian.
Yeah, he needed to go make the Mandalorian. It's all right.
Yeah, that's true.
Game of Thrones is over, I know, but still, shut up.
So, I think it's coming to a... Give me your 2. I think you've
Arya and the Night King.
I'm with it.
I think that Arya and the Night King can probably make use of whatever is thrown at them in an offensive way to an extent that no other combination could.
I'm with you. I think Arya and the Night King and Drogon.
And you got to think about it too. Arya is the only one that can kill the Night King. Really, I guess the only one that does kill the Night King.
I think you get. That's what's a shame. We never actually got Jon Snow 1v1 with the Night King.
But I believe Jon Snow, let alone 5 Jon Snows kill the Night King.
Oh, I'm with it too. It's so. That's one of the things that's like unfulfilling.
Yeah.
Like, Jon didn't have to be the king.
No.
I'm glad he went north of the wall.
Yeah.
The thing about his storyline that I don't like, and I love that Arya killed him, but that he couldn't get into a better 1v1 with him.
Yeah.
Like, he stands like 50 feet in front of him at one point, like, doesn't talk to him, but watches him get burnt and stuff, and then not die.
Yeah.
I just wish they would have sword fought. Once.
Just once, something. But I guess the fight with the general sergeant or whatever, like, that was satisfying too, though.
It was.
But also that proved that, like, he's ready. He could fuck with the Night King. Like, the Night King
as soon as he got a sword that could, he finished that bitch off in 2 swings.
Oh yeah.
It was like,
oh shit, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, like he got his first sword snapped, just like shattered, and then he found his Valyrian steel sword and was like, "Oh, look at that, it works." Bing.
Yep.
And that was that. But I think that was also part of the White Walker being like shocked there was a sword that he couldn't destroy.
Yeah, that's also true.
But I'm with you. I think it's got to be Arya and the Night King. They don't 133 versus 4, and I don't think it's that big of a problem.
I'm honestly surprised Drogon didn't end up on the protecc side.
I do think Jon Snow and Drogon might be the second best option.
Yeah, no, they probably are, because Jon Snow and Drogon dragons are hella powerful. Like, there's a reason the Targaryens were able to tame a whole side of the globe based on having dragons.
And there's like a mutual respect there between them, as seen in that finale. Like, he knows Jon Snow killed his mother, and he can't kill Jon Snow. He gets it.
And you get 5 Jon Snows. Like, you get 5 of them, which means if Jon Snow can compete, if one Jon Snow can compete with the Night King, one Jon Snow is on Drogon, and you got 3 other Jon Snows, that they're probably handling everything else for the most part.
Yeah, you're probably right. Like, Jon Snow ain't nothing to fuck with.
Ain't nothing, let alone 5.
Man.
The beauty of the numbers in this game.
That's the thing.
See,
that gets
I feel like this is a really precarious segment to do too, because like you have to weigh the numbers correctly, or we'll get into it and we'll figure out that somebody is just like
way too overpowered.
Way too overpowered.
I feel like we weighed this really well.
I think we did too.
It could have gotten to my original idea was 500 Tyrions, which I think might...
We've done that, didn't I? think we did like 500 little bills, and we were like, okay, that's actually
like way too overpowered. Like, 500 is an army.
Yeah.
Man. But no, I do think 5 Jon Snows and a Drogon might give it a money, so I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
You go with Night King and Arya. I'm gonna stick with Jon Snow and Jon Snow and Drogon. I think they could fuck on that a little.
I think they could too.
I think they could fuck on that a little.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. It was a good episode.
Yeah, it was.
Got a Patreon exclusive episode that runs this episode 2 hours and 10 minutes at this point.
Oh shit.
We had a 40-minute intro. Patreon.com/KoroBloom exclusive. Go check it out, please. Go follow on Twitter at PennyBloomPod, on Instagram at PennyBloomPodcast. You know, 'twas I, Colton Robertson. You were Tavarus Pennington, correct?
I was indeed, yeah.
You were indeed. I thought so. You looked like him.
I was here.
I mean, 104 episodes now. That's deep. We start Loki tomorrow. Loki coming on Friday. Loki episode. Loki's losing.